So, do you understand what's going on with the inflation right now?
Um, as not, I don't want to say yes. I see what's going on around me, but I don't want to say I understand it. So that's kind of where I'm at right now with
No,
it.
it's better to discuss it and rehash it than to just assume that we know what it is and then not complete the stroke.
Yeah.
Um, the inflation means that it takes more money to buy the same products.
Yep.
Okay, so
Okay.
let's just say that you know, last year a pizza was $15, and now we go to buy a pizza this year, then it's $30,
Okay.
and that is an inflationary cause of an effect on the products. And what's happening right now, you can notice when you fill up your car.
Yeah.
You know,
Definitely.
gas
Yeah.
used to be $2, and now it's $4.
Yeah.
And
Definitely.
whatever the reason is for that, I don't care. And there's a lot of people that talk about politics. There's a lot of people that want to say, oh, it was so and so's fault or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't really care. I want to recognize things for what they are, and then try to train ourselves to make sure that we're doing the best thing that we can do to hedge, protect, or gain in those instances, especially somebody like you who is on the FIRE movement, which is financial independence, retire early.
Okay.
So we need to make sure that your money is growing,
Yeah.
not shrinking.
Yeah.
So if we have cash, what's going to happen when we have hyperinflation to cash that we just have sitting somewhere?
The value of it's going to decrease.
It's going to shrink.
Yeah.
It's like a melting ice cube kind of.
Yeah.
So if you've got $1,000, say, and you let it sit in a drawer for a year under the hyperinflation, the value is going to go down. But let's say that you bought something that's increasing in value. With inflation, and I'm going to use the example of income real estate because that's what I do. So I buy a house for $100,000 and I rent it out for $1,000. And then hyperinflation comes in, and let's say that a year from now, a pizza goes from $15 to $30. What do you suppose my rent that I'm going to collect on my house is going to be?
Double to somewhere around 2,000.
$2,000. That's exactly right. And that's why we call that a hedge against inflation, because we get to keep buying the same amount of pizzas that we want to buy. So the dollars are inconsequential to us. But some guy took $100,000 and put it in the bank instead of buying a house like what we're going to do.
Yeah.
He's going to be able to buy half the pizzas. His family is going to eat half the pizza that they used to, because they have $15 worth of pizza money and pizza costs $30. So they can only get a half of a pizza.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So you understand the concept, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Makes sense.
So as a young guy like you are, and you're knocking around and making your money, what kind of things do you want to look for rather than keep your money in cash or cash equivalent? Do you know how much interest you get in the bank?
I know it's very low. It's
Like you would have to look through a microscope
yeah,
to
yeah,
see it.
like cents worth.
It's crazy.
Yeah, you get nothing.
If you had $100,000 in your bank account, you probably get 39 cents
Yeah.
a month in
Yeah.
interest. So some of the things that you want to do, I think, and I'm, as your mentor, I'm just somebody that's giving you advice, like that job I gave you advice on taking.
Yeah.
Maybe it's good, maybe it's bad. You decided that you didn't want to take that job and that you were doing the other job, which I think is great. I want you to do what you want to do. And especially if you're making equal to more money, that's all I care about for
Yeah.
you. I
Yeah.
want you to get the bag now as much as you can while you're young and put it in play so that we can get that long compounding interest.
Yep.
And you looked up the compounding interest actuarial table for me, right? Last time we talked.
Let's see. Remind me on that compound.
Just write a note and say, look up compounding interest. And that has to do with the rule of 7. And it kind of bears the same kind of thing that we're dealing with this discussion. And that is that if you're making 7% interest or thereabouts, in 10 years, your money will double.
Okay.
That's the kind of the rule.
All right.
If inflation is 7%, then your money will drop in half, like we just talked about.
Okay.
So we want you to start getting your money into the market. And that's one of the things that you and I were talking about is activating your Schwab account.
Yeah. So that was
that was the reason that we were on our Zoom today.
Yeah, that was because I don't know anything about that, so I was kind of curious on like what kind of account I need, what like just what I need to do with that when I go in, and what to like avoid, what to look for, stuff like that.
Did I give you Patrick's phone number?
You did not, no.
Let me see if I can find it real quick. He's a really nice guy, and he's at the Schwab campus on Lincoln and I-25.
Okay.
Okay, you ready?
Yes.
His name is Patrick Admore, Amador.
Okay.
His phone number is 720 895 4910.
Okay.
I want you to call him. I want you to tell him that you're one of my guys that I work with, and that we'd like to have an appointment with him to just discuss the options and things that you can do, and that you want to discuss IRAs, options, Roth IRA options, and a Schwab one, not tax deferred account. And I'll let Patrick discuss those with you. And
Okay.
then you can come, and for anybody that's listening to this tape, I am Cody's stand-in grandfather and mentor and advisor. I am not a financial person. I'm not giving out financial advice. Check with your CPA and your attorney. And there's my disclaimer. But after he explains things to you, then you and I will get back together and let's have another discussion. But essentially, the 3 types of accounts that you're going to be talking to him about are: one that's tax deferred, meaning that you put your money in it and you don't have to pay taxes on it now, and you'll pay taxes on it when you cash it out when you're an old man.
Okay.
A Roth IRA, you pay the taxes now when you're not making any money or a lot of money, and
Okay.
then you can take it out whenever you want to without a penalty of paying taxes on it, because you already paid it on the front. And then the third one is just a regular trading account. And that's where we're going to do some of our fun money while we're just kind of learning how to trade. We're going to take more risks. We don't want to take a lot of risks on our retirement money because it's hard to get it in there. So we want to get it in there and have it grow exponentially. So we don't want to make some stupid move and, buy GameStop meme stock with it and then lose half of our value because it's so hard to get in there.
Yeah.
If you want to cowboy around and say, hey, look, I'm going to take 5 dimes and I'm going to bet $5,000 on GameStop and I'm going to lose it all. Okay. We made a gamble and we lost our money, you know, but that's just our regular money. We can go out and work and get more of it.
Okay.
The retirement money is kind of the sacred cow because once you get it in there and it starts growing tax-free, that's where the compounding interest takes over. And if a guy like you puts $200 in the IRA every month for 10 years, then lets it grow and don't put any more in after that, you're probably going to end up with $1 million when you're 65 out of just that one activity.
Okay.
Now, if you keep doing it longer, it's going to reap more rewards, you know. But my goal for you is I want you to put in at least 200 a month into your retirement account that you set up to get our $1 million. That's our guaranteed $1 million.
All right.
And then later, when you have a regular job, you have a W-2 job or whatever it is, and your company matches the 401k and they do some other stuff, that's another account we're building up, and that'll be another $1 million later on, or 2 million or 4 million or whatever.
Yeah.
But if you do this one thing, Cody, and you start doing the $200 a month, your future self, your 50-year-old self is going to look back and say, oh my God, that 18-year-old kid wasn't a screwball. He was such a great guy. He took care of me. Oh my God, I'm so glad that he did that. You know, because 90% of your friends are going to be buying skateboards or Nintendo Switches or whatever the hell it is. Vape, they're going to start vaping. They're going to spend $200 a month on vaping, and you're going to be a millionaire.
Yeah.
And they're going to look back and say, oh my God, what did I do that for? So that's our to-do list for today.
Okay.
And I don't want to make it super long because I want to talk to you more often now that I've got my schedule cleared a little bit more, so we can talk to you about, you know, different things in shorter sessions.
Okay.
But I want you to kind of look around the internet. Remember, Google is your most valuable tool.
Yeah.
Every smart person, engineer, computer repair guy, you know how it is. How do you fix a alternator on a 47 Ford? YouTube.
Yeah.
That's how you do it. And you just
It's out
follow the
there.
instructions. All of a sudden, you're doing something that you never thought you could do again. So I want you to Google and YouTube and take a look at what some people are having to say about compounding interest, inflation, and interest rates. And I want you to set up the Schwab account because that's a good protection of your money. We want to put it in there and let it grow and keep consistently putting it in there. But we want to remember, especially right now, in this time in history, cash is trash. And it's great that you're saving, and I want you to save, and I don't want you to blow your money on depreciating assets like cars and stupid stuff.
Yeah.
But you need to look at some things and look at the risk of holding cash and the risk of whatever thing you're trying to do to grow that money over that position. And the reason I'm putting it that way is I want you to look, you look at cryptocurrency. Are you trading cryptocurrencies right now?
I'm not.
Okay. When you do, and I suggest that you do.
Yeah, I was interested.
It has to be salt. It has to be salt. And I'll show you how I trade the cryptocurrencies, but you can never get involved in cryptocurrency more than 2.5 or 5% of your net worth, as much as you want to, because it goes south fast.
Yeah.
And when you're trading the cryptocurrencies and you're growing, you need to make sure that you're taking profit as it goes up, because it will go down.
Yeah.
In addition to that, you want to make sure that you are paying taxes on the
Okay.
crypto gains, because later on that's going to be important, and they're going to want to, talk to you about your gains, and you need to pay taxes on them, and be stuck with, oh, I made $100,000 in XRP. Well, you need to pay taxes on that. So you
Yeah.
need to set aside some of that money.
Okay.
And same thing with stock gains outside of your IRA. But
All
those are all ways that, we can make a difference. And silver and gold, precious metals, you can buy a little bit of gold, and that is going to grow at a rate better than cash.
Okay.
It has a value,
All right.
and it's a harder asset. So again, not a huge portion of your net worth, but we can buy some silver coins and some gold coins and put those in a safe deposit box at the bank.
All right.
And I'll show you how to do that in a future session as well.
Okay.
Obviously, real estate is the 900-pound gorilla,
Yeah.
and at your age, trying to get a loan and get into a place,
Yeah.
we have to work on some house hacking type things,
Yeah.
and save up some money, and then we can do some fractional ownership of some real estate,
Okay.
like here in Oklahoma where I am,
Yeah.
to where you could save 20 grand and then buy a piece of a rental property, and it's almost like a privately held REIT. You know what that is?
No, I do not.
Real estate investment trust.
Okay.
And that's a bunch of people getting together that are, doing real estate together. I prefer a smaller group of people that know each other, that
Okay.
are working on one property, and they're teaching each other how to do it. I mean, it should be an educational process for you
Yeah.
to learn how to manage properties and acquire them. I know you have an interest in real estate and getting your license, and save up a little bit of money, and maybe we can do a project down here, and that'll help your money grow exponentially. I was looking at a house that I own in Inglewood, and I was talking to a buddy of mine, an insurance agent here, and we were talking about inflation and what's going on and what the hedges are. I'm going to start a pawn shop here because small business is a good hedge.
Yeah.
And I looked at one of my houses, and I made $19,000 on equity growth last month on one of my crappy little houses in Inglewood. So it's definitely in your future. I know it's a passion that you have.
Yeah.
And it's definitely something we should eyeball, but we got to kind of roll up our money, to where you can make a play at some of those bigger things. But you're definitely, doing a great job listening to me. You're definitely doing a great job following the instructions as we're going along and paying attention to the right things. I'm really proud of you. You're saving your money, and I'd love to meet with you next week.
Okay.
Or the week after.
Yep.
After you talk to Patrick at Charles Schwab, get an appointment, go in there, sit down with them, and tell them exactly this. Mark Hope told me that I should have a relationship with you, and I should have a relationship with a banker.
Okay.
And I'll introduce you to Gwen at Wells Fargo, and having good people in these good spots that are giving you advice, insurance agents, bookkeepers, CPAs, bankers, people that you can trust, that'll hand walk you through, mortgage people, real estate agents, that kind of thing. And that'll help you build that circle of people that are helping you get information. But we never listen to what people say. We don't listen to what I say. We hear me, but we don't just do something because Mark said do it. Mark said, look at buying a gold coin. See what that effect has on your net worth going forward. I don't expect you to just go out and buy it. I want you to study it. I want you to look at it. And then I want you to make your best, well thought out decision based on what I said and what other people said and the knowledge that you gained watching YouTube and looking things up on Google, right?
Okay. Yep.
So don't ever do things because somebody tells you to do them,
Yeah.
even if it's me. Maybe especially if it's me. But it's great to see you. How's
Yeah.
how's everything else going? Is there
Yeah.
anything I can help you
No,
with?
so far so good. I just need to get money where I can sooner than later. So it's kind of,
Well, you're working hard. That's the thing. When you're young, take that shovel and build a pile, and then we'll make it bigger later so that when you're an old man like me, you don't have to work.
yeah.
Because
That's-
guaranteed, they wouldn't want me being their caddy because it would take a while for me to get their car. But I'm
almost-
not, I'm going to stop the recording
All right.
and we'll finish up your personal details.